and phenols. No problem. Okay, let's start alcohols, ethers, and phenols. So, what is alcohol? What is ether and phenol? So, I will start this. The torture is not going to end. Tell me fast what is. So, the chapter which I'm just being told right now is alcohols, ethers, and phenols. Alcohols, ethers, and phenols. So what have you covered in this chapter? Students, please just preparation of phenol, alcohol and ether. Alcohol done, ethers done. Please tell me, alcohols done, ethers done. First question, I will simply ask one question and meanwhile you can answer the topic which was covered in the last class. Tell me the IUPAC name of the compound. IUPAC name of the compound through your coordinator. Any of the student of the class can answer through your coordinator, sir. So please let me know the IUPAC name of this compound. What is the IUPAC name of the compound? It is very simple compound. Meanwhile, let me gather the data based on the topic. So ether is not done. Preparation of phenol is done. Preparation of phenol was going on. So I'm going to start preparation of phenol right away. Meanwhile, just answer the IUPAC name. IUPAC name of this. Waiting for your answer. तब तक मुझे स्लाइड्स को सेटल करना पड़ेगा. Give me a moment. Tell me, waiting for your answers, guys. It won't take much time from my end. I have everything ready. So there won't be any issue. Just let me know. Yes. So we are going to start alcohols, ethers, and phenols. But the direct, I'm waiting for the answer of the previous question. So I gave you the questions before starting the lecture. It took me just like to switch from inorganic chemistry to organic chemistry. It is going to take a while only. So not very difficult. It's a very beautiful chemistry of organic. It's a very simple chemistry. You should be understanding it is a chain chemistry. Let me tell you, it's my favorite subject also, organic chemistry, very easy. If you just understand GOC and stereochemistry, rest of the organic chemistry will fall in line, simply. So you should be very good at GOC and stereochemistry. So alcohols, ethers, and phenols, I asked one question before starting alcohols, ethers, and phenols. Let me know the IUPAC name of the compound. So IUPAC name of the compound, any of the student through your coordinator, sir, can answer the question. What is the IUPAC name of the? I will start from the beginning. No problem. Preparation of ethers, phenols was done. Okay. So alcohol, phenol, ether. So preparation of phenol, ether not done. Get it. So here we are starting introduction. What are alcohols? What are ethers? And what are phenols? So I will start from 0th level to exactly make you understand what are alcohols. Alcohols. Alcohols, hydroxy derivatives of alkanes. When one hydrogen is replaced from alkane, one hydrogen is replaced by OH. One hydrogen is replaced by OH. This is called alcohol. These are called alcohols. इनको alcohol कहते हैं. These are called alcohols, right? If we talk about ethers, so ethers are alkoxy derivatives of alkanes. So 2,2-dihydroxymethyl, 2,2-dihydroxymethyl propane, 1,2 diol. No, I will give you the right answer. So ether, but you try to be appreciated. Okay. So ethers are alkoxy derivatives of alkanes. These are alkoxy derivatives of alkanes. Here minus H, hydrogen is replaced by alkoxy group. These are called ethers. In phenols, what is phenol? If we talk about phenol, so one by one we will discuss alcohols, ethers. Then I will switch to phenols purely. We will discuss phenols, alcohols, and ethers separately. These are three separate class of compounds, families. Alcohol is a different family, ethers are different family, and phenols are altogether different. And there is a huge difference. Let me give you a very good example, and that example you will definitely enjoy. Give you a very good example. For this same molecular formula, C2H6O, there is a formula, suppose C2H6O. This formula is given to you. So for this formula, the formula is CnH2n plus 2O, H2n plus 2O. There will exist two families of the compound. The first one is CnH2n plus 1 OH. And another will be ether. Another will be ether, means Cn something, and there will be ether. So there may be two different families. So let's keep. Here we go. There will be CH3, CH2OH. One is alcohol, another is ether. Do you know the difference between these two? There is a huge difference. One is Earth surface, another is galaxy. There is a huge difference. इन दोनों में कोई सिमिलैरिटी नहीं है, नो सिमिलैरिटी एक्सेप्ट molecular formula. Molecular formula has got one functional group which is called ether, and it has got another functional group which is alcohol. What is the differentiating factor? Everything is differentiating factor. Everything is different here except the molecular formula. These two molecules are entirely different. How? This one has boiling point of 70 degrees Celsius. 78 degrees Celsius means, guys, 78 degrees Celsius means it be liquid at room temperature. You know, ethyl alcohol is liquid, very much liquid. Next one is, this has got boiling point of minus 23 degrees Celsius. It means at room temperature, it is going to be a gas. I will give you the answer of the question which I asked. IUPAC name of the compound. I'm not going to forget anything. Don't worry about it. I will definitely give the answer of the compound. So here it is, boiling point is minus 23 degrees Celsius, means at room temperature, it is going to be a gas. It is a liquid. Next, it is water soluble. It is water soluble. Had it been water insoluble, there would be the great problem. There will be the great problem for millions of the people who use it. So here, you know that it is also called GMKD. It is also called GMKD. GMKD. In terminologies of IITs, it is called GMKD. So next one, it is called ZMKD, ZMKD, ZMKD. So these are the basic nomenclature of these two compounds. Next, it is water insoluble. See the difference, water insoluble. So ethers and alcohols, when we are talking about general formula, they may have same general formula, but they may have same molecular formula, different structure, different functional groups in them. They have entirely different physical and chemical properties. Here, has got density of approximately 0.62 gram per cc. It has got density of 0.0617 gram per cc. So it is a gas, it is liquid. Now it reacts with sodium, ROH plus sodium. As soon as sodium metal is added, a popping up sound of hydrogen, which gets immediately, which starts burning with a popping sound. Now is no reaction. Sodium plus CH3OCH3. It is a solvent for sodium. Sodium is actually kept under ethers only. So sodium is kept in kerosene or ethers. So no reaction at all. So there is a huge difference. Next one, it is pungent smell. Pungent smelling. If somebody uses it, you can bluntly say that he has just done something dash dash dash. So it is pungent smelling. Anybody who drinks it can be simply identified by the pungent smell, that this person just used gham mitane ki dawai. Next one is, it is pleasant smell. Pleasant, pleasant smelling. So it is extremely pleasant smelling compound. It is less combustible. It is highly combustible. See the difference. Molecular formula is same. Molecular mass is same, 46. The only difference is of these group. So it is called ether group. It is alcoholic group. So we are starting organic chemistry from this positive note. So please make sure what is GMKD. These are basic nomenclatures. Okay, funny nomenclatures. You know the funny nomenclature. It is called gham mitane ki dawai. Whosoever is feeling some sadness or something, that emotion is dominating, to decrease that emotion, to release the dopamine extra or fake dopamine or dopamine, this is used. So it is basically GMKD, gham mitane ki dawai. In North India, people call it gham mitane ki dawai. It is extremely toxic. If you just consume 10 ml, intestines will come out of your mouth and will dance hip hop. This is extremely dangerous. So it is called zindagi mitane ki dawai. Next, it is less combustible. It is extremely combustible. It is being used in like as a mixture of E2 petrol nowadays. This cannot be used. Highly combustible. It will blast immediately, called ether blast. It reacts with air. It does not react with air. Air, no reaction. Here, it reacts with air and forms proxy ethers. Air. It forms CH3O. CH3, this O. This is NCERT only. Whatever I am teaching is NCERT only. Just to exactly make you understand that organic chemistry is a very versatile chemistry. Here, you have to make sure that you know each and everything about a molecule, and you would definitely know each and everything about a molecule once you just fall in love with this beautiful subject or beautiful segment of chemistry. Now, boiling point, liquid, this water insoluble, this is water soluble. This does not react with sodium. It is used as a, like, it is used to store sodium. It reacts with sodium violently. Immediately it reacts with sodium, resulting in expulsion of hydrogen gas, which catches fire spontaneously. Now listen to it. It's a very, very important thing. Organic chemistry is about detailing. If you know the detail of the topic, you will understand everything. So now let's get back to that. This compound. So whenever there is a group in the substituent, this, and it is repeated twice, thrice, more than that, then we cannot use di, because if we use dimethyl cannot be used here. So according to IUPAC nomenclature, 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3, if we use 1 2 3, so we have got 2 hydroxymethyl and 2 hydroxymethyl. So we cannot call it 2, 2 dihydroxymethyl, which is an altogether different compound. 2, 2 dihydroxy and methyl. It cannot exist. So we will call it bis. So in such cases, to avoid the ambiguity, to avoid the discrepancy, to avoid the problem, we use bis, tris, tetrakis, pentakis, etc. So here the name of the compound would be, obviously it is going to be propane diol. So the name of the compound would be 2,2 bis hydroxymethyl. We cannot use di here. So it is bis hydroxymethyl propane 1,3 diol. Propane 1,3 diol. So let's start alcohols with a positive note: alcohol, ethers, and phenols. Phenol, you know, phenyl group, which is pH and H. It is called benzene. So whenever OH group is attached with aromatic system, especially with benzene, then such compounds are termed as phenol. ऐसे compounds को phenol कहा जाता है. Here, if H is replaced by OH, then this compound PHOH is phenol. It is a pink color solid, melting point 40 degrees Celsius. It is solid at room temperature. It is solid, light pink solid. It is Barbie pink solid. It is a Barbie pink solid at room temperature, but pungent smelling and very, very toxic. It is very toxic, acidic. It creates, it is corrosive for skin, human skin. If you accidentally touch it, okay, there will be pale yellow color of the skin generated and skin will get burnt. And after 2-3 days, it will be removed. There will be black skin and then slowly it will be removed. It is as corrosive as acetic acid, pure acetic acid. So it is very corrosive. Now, alcohols, ethers, and phenols. So I'm going to start alcohols from the beginning. Should I start from the beginning or should I continue with the same where the last teacher left? Tell me, please. Please. Meanwhile, let me have some water because of sudden change in the chemistry emotions. These are called chemic emotions because we were discussing inorganic chemistry and now we're discussing organic chemistry. So there is a chemic emotion change, drastic change, quantum change in chemic emotions. Tell me. Should I start from 0th level? Because it will be different. Every teacher has a different way of entering the subject. So it won't take much time. Tell me, should I start from 0th level or should I start from the topic where the last teacher left? Waiting, guys. I have different ways, 0th level, right? So let's start from 0th level. So here, these are alcohols like, for example, C2H5OH. It is basic alcohol, most versatile alcohol. It is called ethyl alcohol or it is a non-toxic. Non-toxic unless until you take huge quantities like some bucket or 2, 3, 4 liters. Obviously, it will damage the liver. Otherwise, it is not that much toxic. It is present in all fruits and vegetables. Mostly in fruits, it is present. Now, even in cane sugar, slight amounts of alcohols in dry resins, it is present. So ethyl alcohol. Next one is ether. Ether, simplest ether is this. So first of all, try to understand the bonding in these compounds. The third one is going to be phenol. Phenol is this. When alcoholic group is attached with benzene ring, this is termed as phenol. There is a huge difference. Let me give you the example structure. First of all, we are going to discuss the structure of alcohols. So what is the structure of alcohols? sp3. What is the maximum bond angle possible for sp3 hybridization with 2 lone pair, 2 bond pair? That is 132. So here we go. In case of alcohols, ROH, this is alcohol. Alcohol, do you know this angle is approximately this angle? It has got 2 lone pairs. So don't ever forget that every alcohol has two lone pairs available. So they are basically inherently they are Lewis bases. They are Lewis bases and Arrhenius acids. They can give H plus as whenever required, and they can donate lone pair to whenever required, whenever needed, under conditions. So they are very good Lewis bases, and they are good acids too. So here we go, good base, good acids too. Acidic nature I will discuss. Next one is ROR. If we take ROR, this bond angle is approximately, this is approximately 108 degree. This is 110 minimum. In case of ether like CH3 dimethyl ether, it is minimum 110. So if there is a generic question, what is the bond angle of alcohols? So alcohol bond angle is 108, slightly lesser than that of alkanes. In case of alkanes, if I talk about alkane, this bond angle is exactly 109.5 degree. Here the bond angle is 110. And in case of some ethers like this, if there is a bulky ether, there is steric repulsion, very dominating steric repulsion due to giant groups present on oxygen, then this bond angle can even reach to 132 degree. So this is the basic structure of ethers. Please make a note of that. Then we will take a step ahead then. So boiling point, obviously there will be boiling point. There is no hydrogen bonding, only van der Waals forces. There will be hydrogen bonding. So boiling point of alcohols. Remember, boiling point of alcohols, ROH, is greater than boiling point of ROR, which is greater than boiling point of RORR. Alkanes have only van der Waals forces. Ethers are polar. Here dipole moment is greater than 0. So these are polar aprotic solvent. These are non-polar aprotic solvent. And these are polar protic solvent. Polar protic solvents, PPS. Polar protic solvents. So solvent, just give me a second, please. Yes. So polar protic solvent, these are polar aprotic solvent, these are non-polar solvents. So make everything must be noted. Polar protic solvent, polar aprotic solvent, and these are non-polar solvents, right? So alcohols are slightly acidic in nature. Ethers are not at all acidic. Phenols are more acidic than alcohols. Remember, phenols are more acidic than alcohols. If I give you one very good example, remember phenols, NOTE, NOTE. So NOTE that phenols, PHOH, are more acidic than alcohols, which are more acidic than ethers. Ethers are not acidic. These are more acidic than alkanes. So remember, here phenols are far more acidic than alcohols. Phenols are far more acidic. How can we say? If we just make it react with NaOH, it will react with NaOH, but there will be no reaction. There will be no reaction means northern railways. In case of phenols, there will be phenoxide formation instantaneously. Phenols are sufficiently acidic to react with NaOH. Alcohols do not react with NaOH directly, because just see the difference here. If you just make it to react with NaOH, there will be strong base formation, which will be more stronger base than OH itself. So how can OH form stronger base than OH? It is not possible. It means direct reaction of ROH with NaOH under normal conditions is not possible. You have to apply drastic conditions, then only it will react. So if we compare, there is a generic question. There is a generic question. What is the generic question? We will discuss that generic question. Let me give you another good example. Here we go. If we take water, in case of water, if we take water, the bond angle is 104.5 degree only due to lone pair repulsion. In case of methyl alcohol, which is called blinding alcohol, have you ever heard in most of the time in the news that many people got their eyes got blind just because of drinking alcohol? That alcohol was not ethyl alcohol, which is called absolute alcohol. It was actually wood alcohol or blind. So blinding alcohol is found in pyroligneous acid. If you just heat a green wood, if you just put it in fire, there will be the bubbling of a liquid, whitish liquid, which is called pyroligneous acid. So pyroligneous acid contains sufficient amount of methyl alcohol along with acetone, acetic acid, and ethyl alcohol. So this is methyl alcohol called blinding alcohol. Here bond angle is 108.9 degree. Next, if we take ether, bond angle is 110 degree. If we take tri, this is called, what is it? It is called tertiary butyl ether. Tertiary butyl ether, di-tertiary butyl ether has got bond angle 102. So let's compare the acidic nature. Acidic nature, one by one we will compare. So in case of compound water, hybridization is sp3. In case of alcohol, hybridization is sp3. In case of ether, hybridization is sp3. What do we know? That in case of hybridization, if hybridization is sp3, two lone pair, two bond pair, then the bond angle should be somewhere around water. But actually it is not the case. In case of methyl, there will be repulsion, which is called steric repulsion. Steric repulsion will make this bond angle slightly, because of that steric repulsion, bond angle slightly expands. So in case of water, bond angle was 105. In case of ammonia, it is 107. But in case of alcohols, it is 108. In case of ethers, it is greater than or equal to 110. Make a note of that. First question which was asked in previous year was, what is the minimum bond angle of ethers? This was asked last year in JEE. This is JEE 2023 question. So remember, you have to know each and everything. Superficial knowledge won't work in competitive examination, neither in boards. Sometimes board questions are better than NEET and JEE questions. Sometimes, not every time. So let's talk about classification of alcohols. So classification of alcohols, classification of alcohols, classification of alcohols. Classification, if I talk about classification of alcohol, so what are the classification of alcohol? Give me two examples of classification of alcohols, bachcho. Here, classification of alcohols. 1, 2, and 3. There are 3 ways of classifying alcohols. Tell me, you have already studied this. So it's your turn now. I only should not be speaking during the class. You should also take part. Tell me, there are 3 ways of classifying alcohols. Tell me, what are these 3 ways? So waiting for your answer, Vaishali and Shri EMRS and everyone. And if you have any sort of doubt, if you have any sort of doubt of previously taught topics or any topic which is going on in your school, you can directly reach out to me. I will immediately clear your doubt. So we are just a text message away, so you people can directly reach to us. Means not 24/7, but in office timings we are monohydric, dihydric, trihydric. No, there are 3 types of classifications. That is why I'm saying incomplete knowledge is very dangerous. Here we go. Classification of alcohols based on carbon. Now based on carbon. The second is based on, remember, number of OH, based on number of hydroxyl groups, based on carbon, based on number of hydroxy group. And third one, based on carbon, based on hybridization, based on hybridization, based on hybridization. So here we go. Based on carbon, there will be primary, secondary, and tertiary alcohols. Primary alcohol, if OH is present at primary carbon, it is termed as primary alcohol. If it is present at carbon which is already bonded with to another carbon, that it is termed as secondary carbon. This is secondary carbon. Secondary carbon means secondary alcohol, and the third one will be tertiary alcohol. Remember bachcho, the first point, entering point, is very important. Always keep in mind what primary alcohols are more acidic than secondary alcohols, more acidic than tertiary alcohols. It will be very important during Lucas test. In Lucas test, we discuss the acidity of alcohols only, which reacts faster, which reacts very slow. So primary alcohols are more acidic than secondary alcohols, which are more acidic than tertiary alcohols. So next, based on number of OH, there are so many. Monohydric means they contain only one OH. If any alcohol is there in which only one OH is present, if only one OH is present, like in methanol, ethanol, propanol, butanol, only one all, that is called monohydric alcohol. In case of two OH are present, it is called dihydric alcohol. In case of three OH are present, it is called trihydric and polyhydric like sorbitol. So here we go monohydric like methanol and ethanol, then ethanol, propanol, butanol, and so on. In case of dihydric alcohols, there will be one famous alcohol. Do you know, in countries like Russia, in countries like Siberia, where the temperature in winters normally ranges from -20 to -70 degrees Celsius. In Moscow also, at this point of time, temperature is about, you can check, you can Google it, the current temperature at Moscow. In Moscow, then you will get, it will be in minus only. So these areas where these are called cryoscopic areas, where temperature is very low. In these areas, it is used as anti-freezing agent in liquid solutions. Depression in freezing point, this is used technically. So yaad rakhna hai ye, you have to keep in mind, ethyl alcohol is most common alcohol in monohydric, and glycol is ethylene glycol. Next, trihydric alcohol is glycerol, which you use in many cosmetic products like Pear soap. Every toilet soap contains glycerol. It is the byproduct of deesterification of fatty acids. Next one is polyhydric, like sorbitol. If you reduce glucose, you will get sorbitol. Polyhydric. Hexitol. 6 OH groups present would be present if glucose is reduced by using Clemmensen reduction or Wolff-Kishner reduction. In that case, there will be 6 OH group. It is called sorbitol or hexitol. Based on hybridization, if hybridization of carbon, these are called allylic or alkylic alcohol, aliphatic. Next one is vinylic. There is vinylic alcohol, vinylic and allylic, and alkylic. Next one is alkylic, vinylic, allylic. Remember vinylic and allylic. Allyl alcohol. Do you know what is allyl? Remember one thing. If there are 3 carbons plus 1 pi bond, it is called allyl. It is a trick to remember. If there are 3 carbons plus 1 pi bond, it is called allyl. If there are 2 carbons plus 1 pi bond, it is called vinyl. If there are 4 carbons plus 1 pi bond, it is called crotyl. So these are basic terminologies used to get the trivial names of such compounds. Vinyl alcohol does not exist. Vinyl chloride exists. PVC, polyvinyl chloride. allyl alcohol may exist. What is allyl? What is allyl? Allyl means, what is allyl? Tell me fast, everyone. If I call you, what is, there is a carbon which is sp3. If sp3 carbon is there, it may be primary carbon, secondary carbon, sp3 carbon. It is attached with sp2 carbon. If sp3 carbon is attached with sp2 carbon, remember, in entire organic chemistry, if sp3 carbon is attached with sp2 carbon and that sp2 carbon is non-aromatic, it is not aromatic. If it is non-aromatic, in that condition it is called allyl. This is called allylic carbon. Vinyl ka padosi allyl, neighbor of vinyl is allyl. So remember, this is called allylic. And sp2 carbon of carbon double bond, sp2 carbon of carbon double bond, this which is non-aromatic is called vinyl. This is called vinyl. It is called vinyl, but it should be the carbon double bond carbon. Okay, it should be one of the carbons of carbon double bond. One very simple question, just troubling my mind. I think my trouble should be shared with you. So here, tell me, this one CH3COOH. CH3COOH is saturated or unsaturated? Saturated or unsaturated? Andhra people, your turn now. Tell me fast. It is saturated or unsaturated? Your turn. Unsaturated. Tell me fast. It is saturated or unsaturated? Because I don't know how much you know. It's a very first lecture of mine with you guys. So I should be understand where you, I should be fully aware of your understanding of the subject and where you stand at this point of time. If you don't know anything about this, what is saturated, what is unsaturated, it will finally make your life, very difficult on later stages. So tell me, EMRS, it is saturated or unsaturated? Kandaria is saying it is okay, saturated. Some EMRS nature is saying saturated. Yes, it is saturated compound. It is a saturated compound. So sometimes degree of unsaturation, people actually, what people infer from degree of unsaturation, anything which has degree of unsaturation is unsaturated. No, unsaturated compound by definition should have carbon double bond or carbon triple bond. If there is no carbon triple double bond, if there is no carbon triple bond, compound will be called as saturated compound, even if it has pi bonds. These pi bonds may not be carbon double bond, carbon triple bond. In case of unsaturated, it must have carbon double or triple bond. Next, so let's come back to the point. These are vinylic and allylic. Allylic is like this, vinylic and allylic. I should be giving few examples of vinylic and allylic. This is allylic alcohol. This one is vinylic. This one is vinylic. This one is vinylic. Remember, vinylic alcohol, this is unstable. Remember, it is unstable. And one more thing, never consider it in isomers. Consider it in isomers. Isomers में consider नहीं करना है. In isomers, never consider it in isomers. If you are calculating total number of isomers, never consider that. Never consider vinylic alcohol, because these are enolic forms which exist in equilibrium. In equilibrium, it will exist like this. It will form a ketone, and this will be nearly 90%. So K equilibrium for this reaction will be what? K equilibrium for this reaction, forward reaction, will be greater than 1. K equilibrium will be greater than 1. It means it is going to exist majorly in this form only. So never consider this, will consider this only. Got it? Ketoform, in 99% of the cases, ketoform will be more stable than ene plus ol form. This is allylic alcohol. Can you see it is vinylic carbon? It is allylic carbon. So this will be called as allylic alcohol. Allylic alcohol. Allylic alcohol. Am I clear about it, bachcho? Are you understanding a little bit? Because it is being repeated. Though the chapter is being repeated, the content will be entirely different because every teacher has different approach, his own specific approach. So my approach is different in entering, like to enter the subject, and others teacher may be different. So every time you will definitely be benefited. Even if it is being repeated, it won't be, the wastage of time. So here we go, classification of alcohols. Let me give the boiling point and solubility. Boiling point of alcohols. Boiling point due to hydrogen bonding. Due to hydrogen bonding. Due to hydrogen bonding. Due to hydrogen bonding, these alcohols ROH are liquids. Are liquids. Are liquids. These are liquids. ROH, all alcohols are liquids. They are not gases. Even methyl alcohol is a liquid. Methyl alcohol is a liquid. Ethyl alcohol is a liquid. Now, boiling point. Boiling point is directly proportional to molecular weight. Boiling point is directly proportional to molecular weight. How? Methyl alcohol would have lesser boiling point than ethyl alcohol, which in turn would have lesser boiling point than propyl alcohol C3H7OH and so on. Remember, ethyl alcohol has boiling point of 78 degrees Celsius. It has got boiling point of 92 degrees Celsius, means boiling point gradually increases with increasing number of carbons in carbon chain. But in case of branching, remember, in case of branching, boiling point is inversely proportional to branching. If there is a branching, then boiling point will decrease due to decrease in surface area. Boiling point is inversely proportional to branching. So remember, this will have higher boiling point than, so boiling point solubility will also change. So boiling point will be inversely proportional to, you can take any example, propyl alcohol, butyl alcohol, isobutyl alcohol, they will have different boiling points. So this one is simple as that. Understood, bachcho? Now I'm using little bit Hindi, 99% English only for those students who were comfortable with English only. So due to hydrogen bonding, there are liquids and soluble in water. They are liquids and soluble in water. They are liquids and soluble in water. Soluble in water. Soluble in water. It is soluble in water. But will all alcohols be soluble in water? No. Because did you see one thing? Did you observe one thing? Keep in mind. There is one thing, one point that you should keep in mind. It is keep in mind statement. How? As number of carbons inversely proportional to solubility. Why? Solubility. Why so? ऐसा क्यों है? Why so, बच्चों? Look, there is ROH. ROH, if we discuss, it is hydrophobic. It is hydrophobic. It is hydrophobic and it is hydrophilic. ये पानी के साथ hydrophilic. It is hydrophilic. So OH group is hydrophilic. It wants to get in touch with water, and R is hydrophobic. It wants to repel water as much as possible. It wants to keep away from water due to its non-polar nature, because like dissolves like, as simple as that. Here carbon chain, as the length of the carbon chain increases, this repulsion overshadows attraction of OH, and ultimately they become insoluble in water. It means after fifth carbon, after pentyl alcohols, they are insoluble in water. So remember one thing, solubility decreases with number of carbon. Methyl alcohol, ethyl alcohol are soluble in all proportions. But in case of propyl alcohol is not that much soluble. It takes time to hydrogen bonding. Like if you add that hand sanitizer, which is isopropyl alcohol, to water, it will first form a layer on water, and then slowly it will be hydrogen bonded. It will be what? Pulled in water layers. But in case of butyl alcohol, it will form a permanent layer on water. In pentyl alcohol, it will form water layer on water. Hexyl alcohols, heptyl alcohols, these are insoluble. They are not soluble at all. So you should understand the logic when we talk about solubility and boiling point. You should understand it is not illogical. It is 100% logical. Everything here is logical. So getting my point? Yes. So because today's class was slightly spoiled by that inorganic chemistry, I did not exactly like get the topic because I was told that on Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays there will be 11th standard class. Today all of a sudden 12th class appeared. Because of that only this happened. So bachcho, but anyways, we recovered from that. So tell me fast, are you understanding each and everything? If we talk about relative acidic nature, if we talk about acidic nature, so RCOOH, it is a very important point. RCOOH is more acidic than PHOH, which is more acidic than water, which is more acidic than ROH, which is more acidic than ammonia, which is more acidic than terminal alkynes, which is more acidic than CH double bond CH2, which is more acidic than RH. So remember, this is the acidic nature order. याद रखना है, this is the order of acidic nature, order of acidity. So is it clear? So from tomorrow onwards, we will start from this topic only, and I will discuss this in detail, and I will provide you the sheet simultaneously. In case you have any sort of queries, please reach out to me directly. You can directly reach out to me for all your queries, for all your doubts. Your doubts will also be covered or cleared simultaneously in this series. Thank you very much. And it was very good talking to you. Good experience, bacho. So if you want to ask anything, please let me know. Then we'll wrap this up. So EMRS Ramavaram, Bikrampur, Kandariga, Jabalpur. So many, Madhuri, Uttarakhand hostel. So there are so many actually. North Indian schools have also joined this class. So because of that only, I should be using bilingual English instead of complete English. So tell me, anybody wants to ask anybody want to ask anything? Okay, so we should wrap this up now. For now, bye-bye, bacho. Tomorrow, see you tomorrow with the fresh topic. I will start from here only with better slides because all of a sudden I had to add slides here. So thank you very much. So bye-bye, take care. Have a nice day ahead.